So here we are with chapter 11, Crime Never Pays. In this chapter there are mainly four characters, Birju, Hira. They are the two young men in a village. Ratan is Birju's father and Chief is the head of Madhopur village. In the first scene, the two characters, that is Birju and his father, they are having a conversation. They are sitting in their hut in the Madhopur village. Birju is saying to his father that we are so poor, so I want to become a rich person. For that, I have a plan, and to execute that plan, I will need Hira's help. So, can you help? Can I take his help? So, Ratan is saying, yes, you can take his help. And what then? At that time, Hira enters at their home and he is having a discussion over this plan with Birju. Birju is saying that I have a plan that we should go to city and earn some money. After all, we have to look after our family. Then Ratan says, God bless you both with wealth and success. Stay together and help each other. And so on the next day they went for work in the outer area, and there Hira was an honest and hardworking person, so he worked hard while Birju was lazy and careless. He always he used to leave his share of work unfinished, and that work Hira used to carry with the same work and continue it doing till it gets completed. Then in the scene 2, Birju and Hira were in the orchard with the bags of money. Now they have earned a lot of money, and so they came in an orchard. There Birju said to Hira that we should dig a hole under this tree and hide all the money, because if we take away this money, the people will borrow from us. So we should take only that part of money how much we need it. Then Birju tells everything about this, that they have hidden their money under a pit in the below the tree. So then Ratan says, if you think that you have earned the money and you have given the idea, then you should go and take away all the money from there. So what happens in the dark time? Birju takes a spade and goes to the orchard and takes out all the money, and he puts the empty bag again into that pit and covered it with the dry leaves which was present there. In the scene 3, a few days later, Birju meets Hira and he says that I want some money. So let us go and bring some amount of money from the bags that we have hidden. Hira also agrees with him and says he too needs the money. Now in the scene 4, they all went to the orchard and opened the pit. Birju was shouting at Hira. He said that there is nothing. The pit is there, but there is no money in the bags that we have hidden. He says that Hira, you have stolen the money. Then Hira says that don't insult me. I am not a thief. Birju is saying that you are lying, because you only knew about the money that we have hidden. Then Hira says that let us go to the village chief and he will decide what to do. So they goes to the chief the next day to hear what they were going to decide. There Birju, on meeting the village chief, says that the tree goddess must know who had stolen the money. Then in the scene 5, in the next morning, Birju, Hira, the village chief and the other villagers went to the orchard. Their chief said to the tree that, O tree goddess, tell us who has stolen the money from the pit beneath you. From the tree a voice came, Hira, Hira, Hira. Everyone was surprised on hearing this voice. The village chief wonders how the thief may be punished. So nobody was seeing that Hira was lying some dry sticks and leaves around the speaking tree and setting it on fire. The flames of the fire, as they reached the tree, the person who was hidden inside, means it was Ratan, father of Birju. He came out saying, "Oh, oh, help, help, I am burning." So, the main culprit or the person responsible for stealing the money was Ratan, because he said that, "Yes, my child, you can go and bring all the money." So the main motive behind this story was that if we do some bad deed, definitely we will get the punishment for whatever bad work we do.